screen right now, but I just wanted to say thank you for checking out our second Friday opening at the Firehouse Art Center. My name is Elaine Waterman. I am the executive director here, and we are a nonprofit art center that is located in the heart of Longmont's Creative District, and we are at the corner of 4th and Kaufman. And today I am very happy to welcome you into our virtual space, and then also later on tonight in person for our new April exhibit, which is a showcase of the local creative community here in Longmont. So we are introducing our new exhibits, and in the main gallery you have Betsy Anderson's Home is Where the Art Is, and we will be ending with a talk with Betsy. And in the South Gallery, we have Skyline's VPA Capstone exhibit. And then in Studio 64, we have a collaboration between the artists and the writers of the Firehouse Art Center. And they are working together. So the writers and the artist members have come together to create a visual representation of the written word. And that is where we are going to start today. So I am going to walk this up. So that is, if you're wondering what those lights are, that is actually a whole lot of sequins, and you'll see soon what that is from. So we're going to walk up the stairs into Studio 64, and Studio 64 is our classroom and gallery space. And here we are. So I am actually going to introduce our curatorial assistant, Grace Gutierrez, and she is going to talk to the writers and the artists and let you know a little bit more about the work that is up here.
Okay, so hi everyone, happy Second Friday. This month for National Month of Poetry, we thought it would be a cool idea to bring together the Firehouse writers with the Firehouse artist members. So it's great to kind of merge our programming. So I reached out to both groups and asked them to collaborate by writing poems and then creating artwork in response to their poems, or vice versa. Maybe the artwork was created first and then the poem. But we have some of the artists and one writer with us today. We have Joanna Jennings and Jennifer McCarthy and Catherine Malone. Actually, Joy and Jennifer are working together on this. But yeah, how did the collaboration go? Well, we started off we both kind of worked really well together, I think, because we sat on it for a while. I think we both worked that way, so I think that was good. And we ended up, Jennifer took one of my paintings that I had done earlier this year, and I wrote a poem on it. She took one, and then she's actually started going to short stories and has books and things, so I took an excerpt of one of her prior writings and the painting based on that, and it was set in Florida, in kind of the forested areas of Florida where I went before and things like that, so I had a really good feeling of what she was describing in that book. So I really enjoyed kind of letting myself get into that place, because it's very damp and it's very different than it is here. So it was really a good experience for me to be able to just kind of transport myself to that place and try to bring it out in the painting. So.
And you two didn't know each other before, did you?
We did not know each other.
I'm fairly new to town, moved here about 2 years ago, and so we started emailing. And she I am at heart a fiction writer, and so poetry still puts me a little bit into the boundaries. So that was actually kind of exciting. So I did do a poem, and then I did the excerpt from the novel, which is a Southern Gothic novel, and I'm just astounded because she really captured the mood, and it was very touching to see them see like almost like illustrated. Being just a writer who found her own prison of mind, and you just send the baby out to the world. It's up to them to imagine the story. So it's great.
And Catherine,
Catherine's the illustrator. So you worked with Chelsea, who's an illustrator. She did haikus. So what was that like, doing the illustrations for these short poems? I thought it was really fun. I like a challenge when it comes to time creating things. So when she asked if 5 was okay, I was very excited to kind of lay them out so that they all kind of match, but were standalone pieces. And I find often, for me especially with digital art, but I think fire in general, you can get in a rut of kind of creating the same thing. So it was nice to get someone's perspective on poetry, haikus, their kind of literature, and then make it my own. Something that I wouldn't do every day. Like a little fun. Yeah. Exactly. Which as a teacher, I like assignments, so it was nice to be told what to do. And how was it working with someone you have told people before? I've not. Yeah, was it fun? So she was very fun to work with. I've never met her before, but I hope that I get to meet her soon and kind of see what she thinks. But it was really kind of cool to still get to know somebody, even especially right now, if you can't meet in person, it's nice to touch base, over email and get to know someone on a personal level for their art. Awesome. So guys, I just wanted to make sure that you guys, because we all have masks on, so people are saying it is hard to hear the artist. So I'm going to unplug our microphone and re-plug it back in. Hopefully that
works with the Okay, so yeah, how specifically with COVID and collaboration, I mean, do you typically collaborate with other people? Has COVID kind of obviously throws a wrench in it all, but
Want us to come up there?
yeah, sure, come on.
Okay. I can speak a little bit as a writer creator. I don't know about everybody else here, but I've had a really difficult year kind of finding space to work. I have space in my home, I love my family, but it's been difficult to kind of find a little bit of elbow room. And I like to go out to write to cafes and coffee shops, and they all kind of close down with seating. So I'm very grateful right now that everything's kind of opening back up.
Yeah.
I do have writer friends who found it to be very freeing, like they got inspired. I tended to go the other way, so I feel like now like I'm actually opening back up a little bit creatively.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we all probably found out a little bit about ourselves during this time, and what we kind of need to have kind of on our backs to like get our work done.
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
There won't be a next time, but if there is, I'll know better.
Yeah.
I'll know better what I need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good collaboration.
Yeah,
it
was fun.
I love illustrating, and when I read something, a lot of times my paintings are just because I've read something and I just kind of go off on my own. I love that aspect of painting. So for me, it was an exciting opportunity to be able to do that. So.
Yeah, I find that I often don't get the opportunity to collab with a lot of different artists, especially since I like a wide variety of mediums. It's kind of hard to pick one to invite someone to collaborate with. and I feel like I'm still pretty new as far as like the Firehouse community. So these things are really cool to get to know people. You know, like I've never met you two before. It's so cool to see other people's works. And even Chelsea, not having met her in person, but still feeling like I've met her in that sense. It's nice to get the community, but still have the space.
Cool. Well, this is definitely something that we want to continue, probably every April. Hopefully it can kind of mold into like musicians and artists, or performers and artists and writers. So definitely keep an eye out for next year's call. So.
Cool. Well, I am going to do a short walkthrough of the space and just give you a little sneak peek. And this show is going, so the gallery is actually open on Saturdays and Sundays to walk-in traffic from 12 to 5. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, by appointment from 12 to 5. So if you would like to come see the work, and I highly recommend that you do make an appointment to come in during the week if you want to kind of have a more distanced, intimate view of the work. Or you can come in on Saturday and Sunday during walk-in hours. I actually I want to gloss over these. So these are dolls by Kathy Hall. They're fantastic. I've seen them online and I've never seen her work in person. It's really great. We've got a quilt by Sarah Brewers Brown and a poem by Jessica Rudney, and there is work over here.
David and Bradley.
By David and Bradley. So Bradley is our Art of Possibilities instructor, and David is a longtime volunteer at the Firehouse, and we haven't seen him in a while. So David, we miss you if you're watching. So we're going to walk down the stairs, and we're going to head into the South Gallery, and I am going to set this camera up so that we can, actually I'll send you guys down first. You guys can go down first. Okay. Because we are going to talk to our South Gallery artists, and I am actually going to be talking to them. This is our back stairwell. A lot of people don't really know about this stairwell, but you are getting a tour of the whole Firehouse today. We have time tickets today for our opening, and since it is COVID and we want to make sure everyone stays distanced, we opened up the back door so that people can make a loop for the Firehouse and not have to cross people when they go up and down the stairs. So I'm going to set this up. And I'm going to take this from you. So, as you can see, I was the reason that you saw like the sequins reflecting. Our main gallery artist told us to wear something sparkly, so I wore something sparkly. Actually, Reed, if you want to come in and close that door because I'm worried about the microphone. So I am here in the South Gallery with the VPA Academy students from Skyline High School, and I guess I'm going to open it up to you. So what is the VPA Academy?
Over the 4 years of high school, we are given certain opportunities outside of school, and also classes that are available to everyone, but we can score up credit throughout our years for taking certain classes, and we can graduate with a VPA certificate at the end of the year. And there's all sorts of outside of school assistance and artistic opportunities like this. So.
Also, VPA stands for Visual Performing Arts, so basically all the arts.
Fantastic. So I am going to actually, Krista, you want to do a little sneak peek of the work?
great work. 3D, 2D, lots of different mediums.
And most of this is seniors, the culmination of our 4 years of work. It's our capstone projects mostly.
Okay. So, I did want to ask a question. So, as you're going through VPA, do you guys have, like, how open are your teachers to your choices for subject matter? Is that something that you choose?
So it changes throughout the years. At first, when you're a freshman and sophomore, you take the beginning learning classes, learning the media, the materials, and stuff like that. Once you move on to advanced and like AP, you start learning how to express yourself with your artwork and what you actually want to explore and what message you want to have.
There's a lot of freedom in school, as long
Yeah.
as you don't hang out blood and guts on the walls and the dog walks by.
For sure.
And cool. And you are, so,
Mariana.
Mariana, and this is your work right here.
Yes.
So, it's acrylic and mixed media. Is there, is that, like, when you pick your mediums, like, what is your favorite thing to work with?
My favorite personally is acrylic. It's easy to use, at least for me, and I wasn't good at it at first, but with practice, it was something I was able to appreciate. Yeah.
Fantastic. And I know that you guys kind of put the exhibit together on your own. What is the most surprising thing, or like the biggest takeaway learning that you've kind of learned in putting together the exhibit?
Well, we've learned a lot for future gallery exhibitions if we want to show our work in the future, and we learned how, I guess, how much preparation really goes into making a gallery space, because we had to figure out how exactly we were going to lay out all of the different artworks, what different pieces that we wanted to put in, and maybe even like pricing if we wanted to sell, how much we needed to price our pieces at. So it was definitely a great experience learning how to manage all of that for future stuff too. Yeah.
Awesome.
Also learning how finicky nails and drywall can be.
Yes.
That was a valuable experience.
And I just wanted to see, so Kayla, this one's your grouping of work right here.
Yes.
Did you kind of select to work with like the old horror movie icons?
Yeah, so my theme is actually surrounding universal monsters, because I love horror and I love anything dark and creepy, so I really wanted to display that in my artwork. I am also very much a technical person, and I don't really put, I'd say, a whole lot of emotion into my work, but I really like to be precise, and I think that's the kind of graphic designer side of me, is I really want to make things precise and make, technically advanced.
Awesome. And then Jacob, you are over here, and oh my goodness, my sparkles are really. So how do you pick your subject matter? This is.
I think, especially with this piece, I'm really invested in sort of eerie, not outright horror, but this mall that I chose is abandoned. I'm really obsessed with liminal spaces that sort of fill you with like a cold nostalgia for places you've never been. It's haunting almost, and that's one of my favorite themes. This is pretty intimidating, but I just love the sort of edging into uncomfortable. Death is always a fascinating subject for me, and the beauty that can be found in death. And so exploring that boundary in our emotions is really, really interesting to me.
Very cool. So really quickly, I'm going to make you guys stand in front of the camera and tell us really quickly, like, what is next for you guys? What do you guys have planned? I know you guys said that you are all seniors, so.
Yeah.
Do you guys know?
Okay, so what I'm planning on doing, I'm going to get my core done at Front Range, and I'm thinking about either starting a tattoo apprenticeship or going to a different art school. Possibly RISD is one of my ones on my bucket list if I can ever make it in. But I'd love to study illustration.
Very cool.
I'm planning on taking a gap year for COVID, taking up a job at All in Farms. You should go there. But I plan on going to CU Denver's animation and film program, and if that falls through, maybe RenCAD.
Perfect. I'm not really sure what I want to study, so I'm gonna, after I graduate, I'm gonna go to Front Range and take my basics and everything. But I am taking a graphic design course at the moment, so it is something I plan to keep pursuing at the moment.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much for putting together this show. We are really proud to be showcasing your work from VPA, and we wish you luck in your future endeavors, your future creative endeavors. So thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now we're going to walk into the main gallery where we are going to meet with Betsy Anderson, and I'm going to do just a quick little intro, and then I'm really going to let Betsy take it away so that she can talk about her work. Just a little info about Betsy. So Betsy is a local artist, and she grew up in Rockford, Illinois, and graduated with a BFA from Northern Illinois in 1982. She's been a resident here since 2004, and recently has become more involved with the artistic community. I actually I had the privilege of working with Betsy at BMOCA for the Studio Project internship, and that is where I got to know her. And it was kind of an amazing project because she taught the interns how to embroider, and none of them had ever done it before, so it was really fantastic. But Betsy has been kind of working with fabric dyeing, incorporating found objects in her work, and also becoming socially and politically outspoken. So now that I've introed her, Betsy, I'm going to let you take it away because you have a very wide array of work that is displayed in the exhibit, and I just want to learn as much as I can about it in like the next 5 minutes.
Okay, thanks, Elaine. Yes, when Brandy approached me and said that they had chosen a member for the members show here at the firehouse, I was ecstatic. I was so excited. So she came over to my house, and the first thing she noticed was that there was just so much everywhere, so many collected antiques and oddities on the bookshelves with books, and then so many paintings in these gold frames of birds, very whimsical birds. And she said, oh, I'd love to create kind of we both kind of said, sort of that cabinet of curiosity where people have collected things for personal reasons because they're curiosities and they're fascinating, and there's a kindness and a thoughtfulness about that kind of collecting. And so she and Grace, the lovely assistant intern, put together this show. I watched them in amazement as they made a faux living room. If you come to see it, you'll see, with the paintings. Then we kind of transitioned into the jackets. This is sort of like the laundry room area. And I'm talking a lot about feminist, sort of what is considered work, domestic work, servants, women, why they maybe would choose not to be married, because they would go from being a servant possibly at their home where they grew up to being a servant in the domestic setting where they were married and had children. So we discussed many ideas about oppression, suppression, freedom of speech, the desire to make art. Where does that come from? The impulse from cave paintings and spirituality to modern technology to handcrafted things. And that is where this, handcrafted embroidery really pulls it together, because it is literally, you can see the hand in it. So I hope you come down, and there's a lot to look at, a lot to cover.
I really love it that it's like set up like a living space, because I really feel like, having known you and kind of seeing on your Facebook feed, like I feel that you have so much art and creativity that it like imbues your whole life, and I feel like, you know, this is just a representation of your creativity that's kind of like spilling out everywhere. But I just kind of wanted to walk around, and I know that the volume of us speaking sometimes is a little bit low on the camera, so I want to stay close to the camera.
Okay.
But just to give people a sense of the breadth of work and the different things that you have actually used as your surfaces. Can you talk about some of the surfaces that you use?
Absolutely. The inspiration at first was a friend of mine was moving out of town, and she had a whole drawer full of pillowcases and napkins and linens she did not want or use anymore. So I tea stained them to give them some uniformity, and then from there I decided to work with some female poets. This is an Emily Dickinson about being broken and mended, and there's a lot of that idea of being mended throughout, sewing and mending of society, mending of a million things. And speaking of like suppression and freedom, this piece is about transgender individuals. And I used a song by Kate Pearson, and I used, I shop a lot at secondhand stores, so this is little doll clothes from the 50s. There's a lot, there is a theme running through with recycled old vintage items and, you know, freedom of speech and rights, human rights, and so on. But yeah, the textiles, a lot of them are vintage. So.
And I have noticed also that you do use a lot of quotes and also lyrics. And I know that you are also a writer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Attempting, yep. I have not used any of my original writing in this particular show, but I am involved in particular with the Firehouse Creative Writing Group, and that has really opened my mind to just working at that. And I think kind of like we have many, many stories within us. So this particular story is a lot to do with women in Western society in particular being suppressed and eventually getting the vote. And the sparkles are to celebrate the 1920s yes. and women taking corsets off and dancing the night away. And so this particular story is that wedge of history that I'm interested in expressing.
Very cool. And I know it says in the bio about how you are becoming more socially and politically outspoken. So I know a lot of these themes kind of fall within feminist theories. Like, is that something that you've always felt and spoke out about, or is it something that's new?
Well, I think growing up in the time of when the Equal Rights Amendment, Gloria Steinem, marches on Washington, burn the bra, really had an effect on me because I was, you know, an adolescent, juvenile, or whatever, high school, that age. And I continue to see us struggle. And, you know, it's just a big, huge part of my life when I try to live those values and speak out.
Cool. And that burn the bra was not a segue, because I actually want to walk over here. That was not planned.
Speaking of bras,
these, this grouping is this new? Are these like, I love them, and I just want to give you a little bit of a chance to talk to them about them.
Yeah, I'll try to go. The aprons are all vintage once again, and they represent like domestic violence. I'm sad. The brassieres themselves were purchased at stores and are new. Bruises, he loves me not. Domestic bliss, being ironic with and mammary glands, you know, hello, that's the idea of the fetishized breast in our culture, what we really are about. We're women, and if we get, you know, in our lactation. This one is by Hilda Doolittle, this poem. And she was a really brave person. She was an out bisexual, and this poem in particular is about orgasm, and her point was, women are sexual, it doesn't mean you're dirty, it doesn't mean anything negative. And that's what that one's about, with the rosebuds and the eyes rolling. This one is about rituals in mating. Bowerbirds are the males that build these nests to show off their wealth and jewels. But then one fell off, to attract a female. And again, this would be the fetishized breast, nesting. This one is about the knife and the eggplant. I call it the Lorena, as in Lorena Bobbitt. You know?
Some people don't catch that
Yeah.
reference. That's
And
all
the idea
reference.
that it doesn't matter what a woman is wearing, you cannot touch anyone without invitation, especially in sensitive areas. You just can't do it.
Well, thank you. I think that, there's a lot to unpack in all of this work. And I am excited that we have it in our space for this month. And once again, we are open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday by appointment. Just fill out the form on the website. And we are also open Saturdays and Sundays to walk-ins from 12 to 5. And I wanted to close by saying our acknowledgement is in the spirit of healing. The Firehouse acknowledges and honors the Arapaho tribe, the original people of the land upon which the Firehouse sits. We also wish to acknowledge all other indigenous tribes and nations who call Colorado home. It is because of their sacrifices and hardships that we are able to be here sharing this art with you today, and the Firehouse believes that we can only grow when we have a better appreciation for the history, legacy, and contributions that the tribes have made, not just to this region, but to the nation. And I also wanted to say that it is National Poetry Month, and we are partnering with the Longmont Public Library, and we wanted to let you guys know that the Poet Laureate, Bobby Lefebvre, is going to be speaking on WebEx on Thursday, April 22nd from 6:30 to 8. He's actually going to be streaming in from Oaxaca, so you do need tickets, I believe. So get your tickets. You can get it at the public library website. And lastly, we just wanted to say thank you to everyone that supports the Firehouse Art Center. Thank you to the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District, the Longmont Community Foundation, the Community Foundation of Boulder, Boulder County Arts Alliance, Colorado Humanities, Longmont Rotary, the City of Longmont, LDDA, and the Creative District of Longmont for all your support. Thank you so much. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to put on these exhibits and introduce you to these amazing artists. And this month is really important because we're introducing you to the creatives that you are living with in your community. So come down, support local art, support your local art center, and we hope to see you in the gallery soon. We have the doors open. We've got our ticket checkoff, so come on in and see us for the in-person exhibition opening. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.